So, I live with my best friend, Jake, in a small apartment. Nothing crazy ever happens. We're just two dudes playing video games and surviving on frozen pizzas. Until last Saturday morning, I woke up around 8 a.m. because I heard some loud banging in the kitchen. I figured Jake was just being his usual clumsy self, so I ignored it, but then screaming. A full-on panicked, someone might be dying scream. I jumped out of bed, ran into the kitchen, and there she was, Jake's mom, in her pajamas. In our apartment. Now, here's the thing, Jake's mom lives 3 hours away. I just stood there, half asleep in my boxers, trying to process this. She was clutching a frying pan like she had just seen a ghost. Jake was standing next to her, rubbing his eyes, looking just as confused as me. I finally managed. Good morning. She whirled around and screamed, "Who the hell is in your bathroom?" I looked at Jake. Jake looked at me. We both looked at the closed bathroom door. And that's when we heard it. The toilet flushed. Now, I don't know what kind of horror movie nonsense this was turning into, but I was ready to jump out the nearest window. The door creaked open, and out walked a guy neither of us had ever seen before. He looked just as confused as we did. Mid-30s, scruffy beard, wearing one of Jake's hoodies. He froze. We froze. Jake's mom was gripping that frying pan like she was about to commit a felony. The guy finally muttered, "Morning," and just walked out the front door. We sat there in silence for a solid minute before Jake just went, "Dude, who was that?" Apparently, Jake had left our door unlocked after a late-night snack run, and some random drunk guy must have wandered in, crashed on our couch, and used our bathroom in the morning. Jake's mom had come over as a surprise visit, walked in, and saw an unknown man passed out in our living room, which is why she freaked out. Moral of the story: lock your damn doors. So after the mystery man just casually walked out of our apartment, Jake's mom finally exhaled and turned to us. "Are you two idiots trying to get murdered?" Now keep in mind, she had just driven 3 hours to surprise visit her son, only to walk in on a potential home invasion. So yeah, she was pissed. Jake, still half asleep, just scratched his head and went, he seemed nice. That's when she whacked him with the frying pan. Not hard, but enough to make a loud clang and send me into a wheezing fit. At this point, I was still trying to piece together how we had slept through a random dude breaking into our place. So I checked the living room. Sure enough, our couch cushions were all messed up, and one of our blankets was on the floor. There was also an empty bag of Doritos on the coffee table that I knew neither of us had eaten. Jake's mom saw that too and lost it again. "He ate your food. You fed a stranger. You didn't even know he was here." And I swear to God, Jake, in the most casual tone ever, just went, "Yeah, but at least he cleaned up after himself." I lost it. I was crying laughing. His mom looked like she was deciding between laughing and actually murdering us. Eventually, once she calmed down, she made us check every closet and under the beds to make sure we didn't have any more guests. Thankfully, we didn't. Then she made us change the locks immediately, drove us to a hardware store herself, stood over us while we bought new locks, and then supervised while we installed them. By the time we got everything fixed, Jake just sat on the couch, sighed, and went, "So what's for breakfast?" His mom threw a box of cereal at his head. And that's how I almost died, not from the intruder, but from Jake's mom murdering him first.